Hi y'all, it's Alice, Monique with TexasGalStudio. How are y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel. We are creating a new recipe or a new dish in our home. This is my first time creating this as well, so if I have a little hiccup, I'll let you know, which I really don't. I think everything goes pretty smoothly. What you see me doing here is I just added 6 tablespoons of all-purpose flour into a little dish, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to end up throwing that little wax paper, so that's why I use that, just to keep everything as clean as possible. But I added a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Mix that up with the flour, and I'm going to, I want to say the word is dredge. I can't really remember that word, but yes, I think it's called dredge the chicken in the flour mixture, and it's just pretty much patting one side, then flipping it over and patting the flour to the other side, and that's gonna help create a nice little crispy crust on the top of the chicken. So here I'm going to get my skillet. I'm going to heat up 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm using Texas extra virgin olive oil, but you can use any olive oil you like. Then I also added 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Actually, it calls for unsalted butter, but I use salted butter because I think that's all I had. I can tell because the label on the outside of my butter is red, and usually when it's unsalted, I want to say it's blue. I use the brand Falfurias, and that's a closer, I guess, butter company. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, butter company. That's about 2 hours away from where I live, which is amazing. So that's the one I'm using. I showed you the timestamp up there. It's 1:17 when I put the chicken down. Now it's 1:22, and I'm flipping the chicken to the other side. I do have it on a high heat, and I think that's it for right there. So right here I am grabbing my garlic crusher, or it minces the garlic really nice. I love this little contraption. And I am going to get 3 cloves of garlic, and they're going to be minced. That's what it calls for. And I'm just going to put that in a little measuring cup, just so I could put to a side. And here I show you a close-up. It's really cool. I love it. I want to say that I purchased it from a friend. She was having a pampered chef party, I want to say. It's really cool. I love it. And then here I am prepping, I want to say, the heavy cream, and that calls for 1 cup of heavy cream. And it also calls for 1 cup of chicken stock. So I want to say that I get that ready as well. So here it is time for me to take the chicken out. I've already flipped it twice, so the first time you saw me flip, then I had flipped it a second time, and now this time I'm just pulling them out, and I'm going to put them on a napkin just so they can set. I want to say that the bottom is a cutting board as well, so there's a cutting board, then I put a napkin, and I'm just going to let these chill right there on the napkin while I get my sauce going. So right here, I see the clock, it says 1:30. That's when I took out the chicken. Now I added the garlic. What was that other thing I added? I saw me add something else. Maybe the oregano and thyme. But no, I think it was just the garlic. All I'm doing is I'm adding that to the chicken drippings that are on the bottom, plus whatever. Obviously, there's a little bit of oil, a lot of flavor down there. So deglazing, I think that's what it's called. So I will be adding the chicken broth here, and that's 1 cup of chicken broth. And then after this, I will be adding, I want to say it's a heavy cream. Let's see. So that's going to heat up a little bit. Oh, it's going to be the Parmesan cheese. So I bought this Parmesan cheese, and I'm just grating 1/2 cup. This one was hard because I think I was adding shadow to this. So I end up moving the camera. There it is. That's much better. Oh, I still gave it shadow this way. Oh, well. I'm casting a shadow there. It's fine. I'm just going to grate, like I said, 1/2 cup of cheese here. And it's a Parmesan cheese. So right here, I'm adding the cup of heavy cream onto the dish, and I'm also adding 1/2 cup of the Parmesan grated cheese. And I'll mix all of that in. It did call, if I'm not mistaken, for a teaspoon of chili flakes, but that's the one thing I did not add. And then it's also going to ask for a tablespoon of basil leaves at the very end. But I didn't have basil. I went looking at the grocery store. Nobody has basil. I should have grown basil myself this year. But so here I'm showing you oregano. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano. And what was that? Thyme, a 1/4 teaspoon of thyme. So this is us making that yummy sauce. And then, oh, here we go. I went outside real quick while that heats up for a little bit. I want to say that I had to go check on some items that I was going to sell because I was getting inquiries, and so I needed to just measure out the, what was it? The cornucopia and the wreath. They wanted exact measurements because I listed those up on Facebook Marketplace. So I was doing that real quick. I just wanted to show you what I did get to list this week. Also, I am cutting up the sun-dried tomatoes, and this is a 1/3 cup. Honestly, if you add a little bit more than a 1/3 cup, it is fine. This is literally what makes this dish. I can't believe something super simple like sun-dried tomatoes really adds that much boldness to this dish, but it did. So I think next time I'm going to add a little bit more than a 1/3 cup. But again, try it first with a 1/3 cup. If you're not a fan of these, then it's, you know, you can just add a 1/3 cup because it does add a lot of flavor. But like I said, I'm going to go back and add more because we really, my husband, my daughter, that was like the first thing they said. It wasn't even the chicken or the sauce. It was the tomatoes really gave it that extra flavor. I'm like, wow, it's funny that they both said it at different times because I fed them at different times as well, but they both noted the tomato first than anything else, which was crazy. So that is heating up. That is setting for a little bit. Then I'm just going to go ahead and grab the chicken and start placing it on top of that pan with sauce that we just created. I had a little bit of pasta left from last night's meal, and I just heated that up with some butter, and I'm going to plate our marry me chicken with the pasta that I had left over. Usually what I see it plated with is like a thin spaghetti, but we just went with the pasta we had last night, which I usually leave some without anything. It's just plain pasta I like to reserve. And this is the way the final dish looks. It tastes amazing. Like I said, my husband, my daughter went for seconds. So I hope y'all enjoyed this recipe. Stay tuned for the next recipe and the next video to come. Y'all be safe, stay strong. Attitude is everything. Bye, y'all.